What up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Back to the Blockbuster. My name is Gaius Bowling, and I'm not alone this week, which is a great feeling.
He isn't alone. I'm sorry, people. Jack Attack is back in the game. Took a little bit of a hiatus just because, it was getting hot as hell in California and I missed my mom. So I went home to New York. Uh, I actually had a pretty eventful, had a birthday, new job, spent
Yeah,
time
you
in
got
New York.
a lot of
I had a
going
lot
on.
going on.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. I've decided to start continuing this mustache kind of thing I've got going on right now. So it's definitely not a look that everyone likes, but I'm kind of down with it, so I'm gonna keep rolling with it.
well, it's not that. It's not the like rapey stage. Is it like the? It still looks kind of good stage, or is it the? It could look creepy
Well,
rapey stage.
well, no, it's either I have no baby faced, so I just have to rely on the top of the head,
Yeah,
to distract people from my ugly middle face. And then the mustache, it can get weird. It's like, what's that under your nose? But then after a while, it actually comes in a little bit more, so people can like see. It's like, oh, I think I see what you're doing there. I still don't know what I'm doing there, so we're just playing this by ear. But yeah, glad to be back in the game, and we have a doozy. There's a shit ton to go
yeah. There's a
over.
lot. There's a lot to
I
go
mean,
over. Also, we will track the evolution of your mustache
yeah,
each
no,
week
okay.
if you
We'll
choose to
call it
keep
off at
it.
one. We'll call it off at one point or another. But it
If you
will
choose
stay
to keep
for
it.
yeah. We'll trim it
Yeah,
down, keep it going. But yeah. And I just want to preface this entire episode by I don't want to get angry, so I just don't really want, like, if we have to cover Warner Brothers as much as we do, fine. But
yeah.
god damn it, dude! I just read something about on, I think it was on Variety, about just not good stuff. So
Yeah.
um
There's a lot with them, and I will let you lead that one when we get to it. Because I think I may have just read what you read
yeah, I'm
while I was
like,
at work.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That going back to the solo episode last week, I want to thank everyone that reached out on Twitter that said they enjoyed it. They thought it was very informative. It was for the 35th anniversary of Hellraiser, which is not Jack's thing at all, but I'm going to try during the month of October to get him to try to do some horror movie stuff because it is October coming up, and horror movies are big during
I
October.
fine.
Uh,
I'll
but
give it a try.
it was the first solo one, and got through it, and it actually is doing really well on Good Pods right now. We are actually currently in the top 5 on the film reviews chart on Good Pods, uh, because of that episode. So thank you for listening, and thank you. It was weird talking alone. I mean, I knew the movie enough to get through it, but it was weird not having someone to like riff off of. Um,
No, yeah, you definitely gotta have that instance of just like back and forth. We're doing
or
this
yeah,
thing just so you don't see, like, after a while it's like you get all tongue tossed because, like, man, I really need to take a break.
yeah,
But
because you're like it's hard to talk that long.
is there a break to be, yeah, is there a break to be had?
Yeah, exactly. But I will say, some of the other podcasts that we've either associated with on Instagram or Twitter, or who have been on the show, encouraged me to do it because I was like, oh, we need an episode for this week, and Jack is gone. What should I do? And that was on the calendar as a maybe. So I was like, all right, I'll just tackle it alone. So I'm glad I did it. So at least I know I can do it if I have to do it again. Um, but it's definitely better having the banter back and forth. So it's good that you're back, and it's good that you're back for a lot of stuff. I was trying to figure out what to lead with, but I will lead with what happened today because I thought it was a joke when I saw the video. But it's not a joke. A lot of people have mixed feelings about it, but Ryan Reynolds posted on his Instagram page, in a very in pure Ryan Reynolds fashion, that Hugh Jackman will be returning as Wolverine in Deadpool 3. And there is a release date of September 6th, 2024. I'm gonna throw this out there before I throw it to Jack. What I saw on social media was a combination of "fuck yeah, we're glad he's back," and then there was also the that kind of ruins and taints the ending that Logan had, which was like a perfect send off for the character, well, at least for Hugh Jackman's like uh take on the character, he had played him several times since the year 2000 when X-Men came out, and it was a nice like final film for him. And some people think that this kind of ruins it because it's going to be this. I assume this kind of meta funny thing they're going to go with here, but I also want to trust Ryan Reynolds and all those involved, and um, apparently they've been sitting on this a while because they've asked Hugh Jackman a lot, like, would he come back? Would he come back? And he kept saying no, and no, 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 no. But I think they might have thrown a good idea at him. I'm assuming this is going to be a one-off too. He's not going to be back. But yeah, Jack, what are your theories on that? What are your feelings about it? Were you excited to hear it, or do you think that this is kind of the wrong direction for them to take?
It it is a particular one because I'm really shocked because I feel one that Disney would actually, and then this is me like just really giving Disney a lot of credit here, but they would actually respect like the Logan, like they had, 18 years of fucking Hugh Jackman. I'm shocked they don't want to do something different, get people's minds off, like, like I was saying with all the reset, like this is the perfect time to reset. Like you literally
Right.
haven't had a character in a while. He's literally been like our guy for the longest time,
Right.
but like it's now long enough that we can be like, you know what, I'm okay with having another Wolverine. Like as much
Yeah.
as everyone loves Hugh Jackman, it's really the character Wolverine that we all go gaga for.
Right.
Um, but that just goes with the territory of someone playing him for 18 years and like 16 movies or whatever the fuck it was. So in that sense, I'm shocked that Disney wanted to do that because this is literally like, all right, perfect. We just need to get Tom Hardy done, like, or
Taron Egerton was another name that they're throwing
yeah,
up. Yeah.
get that dude. So shocked on that. Now getting to it, I'm actually a little disappointed that it's actually happening. I thought it'd been a lot more fun if he was like, "Do you want to play? Do you want to play Wolverine?" And he's like, "Absolutely not." But I know a guy,
That would have been cool.
and
Yeah.
it leads
And
to
then you
the
get set up. You get set
and
up
it
who is
leads
playing him next. Yeah,
correct.
it'd be
It's kind
perfect.
of like a baton, yeah, like a baton being passed. Like
Yeah.
like this is okay to do. And it also kind of like it's just obviously we're not smart enough to know what they're writing if they're going to be writing about, but it's like it's another one of those things that's really hard to wrap your head around where it's like is like he's dead, so obviously Deadpool time travels, so it's like I bet it's got to be something like Deadpool like fucks around with time travel and it's just like I want to go see Logan, all
Yeah.
this um to then actually fill in the gaps for us personally
Yeah.
of why he loves Logan so much, because in the movies that we've seen there's been like absolutely no interaction
No.
with Logan at
Right.
all. So it's very odd that he loves Hugh Jackman so much. I mean, I get it, it's Deadpool, he can just love when he wants, but it's just funny to me that he's just like, yeah, Hugh Jackman, but I've never been in a movie with him. I've never actually interacted with him. Actually, well, it's a lie, but it's the other Deadpool, terrible
Right.
version of
Right.
it. So,
Right.
the only thing I said on Instagram was I hope that it's like one of those things where they do like you travel to a different thing and they do a little, what stunt to like take his vibranium or something to give it
Yeah.
uh to the actual, I don't even know how to, because because it's Deadpool 3, but it's his first time in the
In
MCU.
the MCU. Yeah.
So, and according to She-Hulk, there is a guy in a bar with claws. So
Yep.
it's just weird. What do you think? I don't know. It's cool, but like at the same time, it's like really like can't we like
Yeah.
you say it all the time, like can't we just have original ideas? Like this is an original idea. It's just bringing Hugh Jackman back.
Right. When I saw it, it's like it was a mix of like, oh, this is exciting movie news because I wasn't expecting it at all because I really thought that Hugh Jackman was done. He seemed to like be pretty like affirmative on the fact that he was like, I'm done with the character. Logan was a great send off. Um, and then I was like, well, I mean, they like their interactions in real life are great, like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, so that could be a fun movie to watch. But then I was on Twitter and this one guy was like, "Hey, this is an opportunity for Marvel to like the MCU to move forward in a like original way, and now they're just kind of doing this whole kind of fan service thing by like bringing back Hugh Jackman." And I assume this would be a one-off because Hugh Jackman can't play the character much longer. So it's just going to be this kind of fun one thing for Deadpool 3, and I don't know how that. And again, I don't know what they're writing or what they're doing, but the way I'm seeing it now, I just don't see how it serves the greater MCU, I guess, to do this. Other than it's just a fun thing for Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman to do, and
Yeah, exactly.
like
They can't build. Like, what are you building on?
right.
You
And I
know?
was trying to figure out where the release date is September 6th, 2024. And I was trying to look at where this falls into their current uh their phases that are coming out. Okay, all right. So Captain America New World Order is May 3rd, 2024. So it's in between it looks like it's in between Captain America New World Order and Marvel's Thunderbolts. And then after Thunderbolts it's Fantastic Four and then the Avengers and Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Um yeah, I mean like I said, I don't know what they're doing with the story. I don't know how it's going to serve the greater MCU, but it did get a lot of people excited, I guess. And I guess for people that love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, it'll be really cool to kind of see him back as a character. And I guess another thing, and I could be wrong, um, I guess the one thing I was kind of happy about is if they're doing this with Hugh Jackman, um, and I don't know when they're going to introduce the X-Men, but it'll be nice to introduce the X-Men without maybe a Wolverine, like, cause like he's not going to be like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine's not going to be there, and I would like to see
No,
like an
yeah.
X. I would like to see an X-Men project that wasn't solely focused on uh Wolverine, which was the case with like all the other X-Men movies they released, like the first three especially. Um, so that's the only positive I think is like if they're using him there, maybe they won't use that character in the near future after that. So that's the only real positive I can come up with. But it was cool to finally get a release date because everyone was wondering when Deadpool was going to get thrown into the MCU, and um, Kevin Feige has said that they're keeping it R-rated. They're not going to change that just because it's associated with Disney. So they said fans don't need to worry about that. Um, I do think there was so much momentum from that first movie and that second movie, and there's been so much of a gap between the second and third that I think they probably felt like they needed to do this to kind of pump up that momentum a bit, uh, by kind of doing this kind of stunt.
But
Can't see.
yes, momentum in the sense of getting ramping up excitement, not moving forward with
Not,
like
yeah,
it's
not
like
moving forward. Yeah.
what are we doing? What are we doing here? Like, come on, you
Yeah.
know, it's one of those things where I just am like, I really
Yep.
would have liked to see a new Wolverine. Excited, gonna see it obviously, but
Yeah.
just one of those things where I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, it was cool to hear, but I'm not, I guess I would have to I hear more about what they're doing with the story before I kind of decide how excited I am for it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but another Marvel project, this just kind of just happened right before we got on. Uh, while one Marvel project seems to have it together with what they want to do next, the Blade MCU project just lost its director like an hour ago. Uh, I think his name
Really?
is Bassem Tariq. They're saying from the statement they released, and let me, I think it has to do more with like all the schedule changes with the movie. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but what did they say in their statement? They said, yeah, due to continued shifts in our production schedule, Bassem is no longer moving forward as director of Blade, but will remain an executive producer on the film. We appreciate Bassem's talent and all the work he's done getting Blade to where it is. And then he released a statement saying, it's been an honor working with the wonderful folks at Marvel. We were able to put together a killer cast and crew, eager to see where the next director takes the film. This movie was set to start shooting in the fall in Atlanta. and it's supposed to come out November 3rd, 2023. And they say as of now they don't know if losing the director is going to affect the production schedule at all. I imagine it's going to take a little bit to find a replacement. Um, but yeah, that sucks. Because
I
I
don't
know a lot
think
of people
so.
were they were looking forward to that. A lot of people were looking forward to that project, and
No, I am. I think I told you too. I'm super excited for that. I think I've said it multiple times. I just don't. I think that this project is so hot in the director's streets that I'm completely making up right now. That like you get like the second coming of Ryan Coogler. Like we didn't like get an African American director who's done a few like small budget films, but like he's hip with like the time now. He's cool. He's
yeah,
cultured, um, and let him run with it. Because like I would imagine half the battle with Marvel is like the script writing and the vision. All
yeah,
they need to do now is just get a director to buy into that vision, and then at the same time Marvel just let him tweak a little bit just to make it a movie that's theirs.
yeah.
But I think I really think it could be a quick turnaround. And Marvel too, they always had a backup. They probably always had a backup plan.
Oh, like a
Um,
second name that they were
so
like
that's what
before
I'm
they landed.
thinking.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah,
That they
yeah,
have
yeah, exactly.
multiple people, like it, like kind of like if we can't get this person, we can maybe get this person, and I hope they did because I would I don't I mean I guess for them they can't afford to have it get delayed too much because they have this plan already where it's set at a certain point in the schedule and uh they can't really have it like kind of get delayed too much. Um, it's always kind of sad to hear though, because like when I just as someone who like I talked about this with Batgirl and how that sucked when that fell apart because of all the people that worked on it. I'm sure this guy was like so excited to direct this project and was so eager to get it done and to have it kind of like to lose it because all the shifts in the schedule, like stuff that's out of your control, basically. Um, I feel bad for him in that regard. Um, but yeah, it shouldn't. Yeah, I mean, maybe it won't affect things too much. Like you said, they probably have a backup that they can go talk to and say like, "Do you want to take this on?" And of course, like being a new director when there's already a script and all that stuff in place and cast and crew are in place, it's probably hard to jump in as the new person. But we've kind of seen that happen with other movies. When the director left the Fast and the Furious 10, they replaced him right away with I think within like a week or two with a new director.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible to get it done, but I'm sure it's a very stressful behind the scenes endeavor to kind of get done. Um,
No,
but
yeah. I mean, I would say the only thing, conspiracy theory, is that like with all the schedule changes, if you fucking want to do this movie, I don't give a shit what schedule changes come about. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So that's all I'll
yeah,
say on that. Is that
okay,
like maybe it wasn't just the schedule changes. That's just classic. That's an easy thing to say. My schedule change. I've been committed to this, committed to that. Motherfucker, Disney literally gave you Blade, and you're like doing that. I totally get it. Totally understand it. Save the face. Let's all be nice in the future. But come on, guys. Come on. Serious. Come on.
well, do we think the
Come on.
scheduling conflicts were like with him and other stuff he wanted to do and like should he like I guess I'm saying like if he had other things lined up, should he have been like, "Hey, I'm committed to Blade no matter what. I'm sticking with it," or if he has other kind of passion projects that he wanted to work on? I'm assuming that's what the scheduling is. Like if there's all these scheduling issues because of it gets delayed, it has to be because the director has other things that he wants to do as well. I mean, I get. I kind of. I would think it'd be foolish to turn this down because it's a huge opportunity, and you would maybe want to work out the rest of your schedule to still make it work. But you know, we've seen how things get delayed, and it kind of really screws up the process before. So, um, I don't know. I still feel bad for the guy though because there's going to be a really big like break for him, and uh, and he was clearly excited to do it. He had a big vision for it, and I think they were excited to work with him based on like some of the smaller stuff he had done before. Um, I saw people on Twitter just jokingly saying this, but they were like, just get Wesley Snipes to direct it, and it'd be like a perfect little like full circle moment to have the original Blade direct the MCU Blade, since he's not gonna be in it. Um, but yeah, that's not gonna happen. I don't even know if Wesley Snipes directs at all, so I don't think that's a possibility. But yeah, we'll see what they end up coming with next for a director. I can't even think of who like I would want to take it on, because I don't think Blade is like one of these kind of like bigger budget like MCU movies, right? It's a little bit more uh grounded, I would say. Um it but yeah, it would be cool to kind of, like you said, find like a Ryan Coogler to kind of step in and take this over and do something really cool and interesting with it. But hopefully they find out soon, because they were supposed to start shooting in the fall in Atlanta, and the cast and crew are all ready to go. So we'll see. We shall see. As far as other Marvel stuff, while I'm on it, the Fantastic Four movie found writers. It's Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer. They are both newbies, kind of, to the industry. What's interesting is that Matt Shackman had been he's attached to direct it. He directed some episodes of WandaVision, and he was attached to do the next Star Trek, but he dropped out to do Fantastic Four. Apparently, that director had outlined this whole thing with Fantastic Four with Kevin Feige, and then now that these new writers are on board, he has to come together with them and align those two visions to kind of make whatever they're going to do with Fantastic Four work. There were like some people who are concerned because these guys don't really have like a huge background as far as writing is. They really are kind of fresh. But you know, fresh new talent can bring some fresh and fun new perspectives to a lot of these properties. So I'm down with them taking on Fantastic Four. I mean, we've gotten so many subpar Fantastic Four things before that I don't think they can do much to ruin it. And the director, I thought, did really good work with WandaVision. So I'm pretty confident in what they're going to do. I'm not really worried about them being new to the game too much, because that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to put out a good film. So that's what's going on with Fantastic Four at the moment. Let me see.
I mean, it's it's just sweet. They found writers, they found directors. We're not gonna fucking see this movie for like what, 3 years, 4 years? So
a while, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, sweet. But like, if we're getting Wolverine and freaking, they just confirmed that Namor is
a mutant,
is a mutant, not a Atlantean, excuse me. And it's not even Atlantis. They're not even calling it Atlantis. It's just a little drop right there. Let's get a little Black Panther news segue. It's not even Atlantis. It's like Talalos or something. Don't quote me on that pronunciation. I can't read words for shit. But they do say that, yeah, it's different. They needed to separate from Atlantis. So it's very cool. So I'm very excited about that too. But they did say that he's a mutant.
Yes. Oh, and other Black Panther Wakanda Forever news. There's a lot of reports going around that the official runtime is 2 hours and 41 minutes, which will make it the longest movie in this current phase of the MCU.
Everyone's here. I want to hear everyone's complaining. It's too long. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god, no, it's not.
I kind of feel like, I think we still got decent to great movies in this phase, but I know people are mixed on it. But I think this movie, for people who are like on the fence about this phase, like if it's really good, it can turn a lot of things around, and I don't really care if it is 2 hours and 41 minutes as long as it's good. And every time I see that, I've seen that trailer twice on the big screen in the last 2 weeks of the movies I've gone to see, and seeing that trailer, even though I've seen it so many times before, like at home, but on the big screen, it's a much different experience seeing that Black Panther trailer. It's going to be pretty exciting to see when it finally comes out. And I agree with you. I hope no one bitches and moans about the runtime. They shouldn't. If it's worthy of that runtime, then I'm all for it in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, guess how long? There's been other comic book movies made by certain directors that have been around that length, and everyone shits on it. So, are we playing a little biases? Yeah. Am I still gonna sit there for 2 hours and 41 minutes and watch it? Yeah.
Yep.
And am I gonna defend? Yep. I'm just gonna do. All right. That's all I gotta say about that. Yeah. No. Good. I'm excited about that. Good time. They're not. They're not. They're breaking the Marvel mix of like excuse me 2 hours, 10 minutes, 2 hours, 15
yeah, well,
minutes.
yeah, everyone like because there was a complaint about Thor: Love and Thunder being too short, like because it came in like I think at 2 hours, like on the like a little on the dot, and some people were like, well, that was too short, and then when it's too long, people complain. There's no like, I guess, pleasing anyone when it comes to that kind of thing.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's wild.
Yeah, I don't mind the run times on these movies at all.
It's like you just don't like. I'd rather you not. I would. It's one of those things like, would you rather rush the story and no one get it, or just give it 30 extra minutes and let everybody understand it, being like, oh
Right.
wow, okay, cool.
And I hate when things
You know?
are, and I hate when certain movies seem too short, and it's obvious that they made a lot of drastic cuts to make it short. Like it feels like something's missing, like from it. I don't like that either. Yeah, I rather just give me like the full thing, and I hate the whole like, well, we had to cut these scenes, and you'll catch them later on like a director's cut or on Blu-ray or like. No, I want when you can tell that like a movie's been butchered in the editing room. It's very obvious, and
like
don't like that
Suicide
either.
Squad or Batman. Yeah, like Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, Batman vs Superman,
Batman vs Superman,
Justice League, the one we got in theatrical Justice League. Yeah.
Yeah, but not even to bring it up, but like just to point the example of like the severity of cutting scenes is that like in the original theatrical Batman vs Superman, it's like 30 minutes less than the ultimate cut. They literally have a scene where the freaking senators talking, and they literally said the woman in the beginning of the movie like completely lied. She's, oh yeah, she lied. Like Lex Luthor paid her to do it. Like that right there was like, oh, everyone would have been, I totally get it now. But for some reason, they fucking cut that and they tried to make you think. Therefore, everyone hated it. So excited for 2 hours and 41 minutes of awesomeness. Definitely time to explain. But I will say, if the funeral scene goes any longer than like 20 minutes, I'm going to be annoyed. No offense.
Oh.
Rest in peace to the king.
They gotta pay tribute to him in a significant way, right?
They do. They absolutely do. But if I get more than like a 20-minute, like just it's all right. I get what we're doing here. Yeah. But it just But if it's the opening, you got me. Like, all right, sweet, we got it over with. Let's get to the fucking movie.
Yeah.
So that's all I gotta say. I'm excited for it. Especially I feel like calling this that obviously outside of I think it's gonna be a big hit with Mexicans and Hispanics too, because of the Mesoamerican Mesoamerican inspiration that Namor and all of the city has taken. The city of Talalos is taking. I gotta figure out what this name is. Hold on.
It's gonna be really interesting to see when we get closer to when it comes out and what talking box office, because the first movie made like over $1 billion worldwide, and everyone doubted that it would. At least the industry did, because movies with a predominantly black cast don't do that. Now you have like a movie with a predominantly black cast, and like you said, like these two, like they could drive box office like really high. I mean, I just imagine if the movie is really good, that there's another potential to do $1 billion again, and maybe a little bit more if the movie is as good as the first one or better. Because of course, like it's a very underserved audience, and they like to, you saw how like people came out for, particularly African American people came out for Black Panther when that movie came out, and I imagine the same rush will be there for the sequel as well. I would think so.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be awesome. And I think it's just one of those movies that it's gonna, yeah, no, obviously, it's gonna have the African American demographic come out in absolute troves, and it's gonna have an awesome, awesome fucking soundtrack. Let's just hope it doesn't fall into that Thor thing where they double down on what they thought was really good in the first one, and then
instead of doing
it kind
something
of just
new.
goes from
Yeah.
there. Yeah, exactly. Which obviously they're doing now with, the fact that our king isn't here anymore. So, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
Just
got
don't. All right. Where is it?
Uh,
I'm trying to find this name.
you.
Oh,
Well,
there it is. I got it.
You found
It's
it?
called It's called Talocan. 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 That is the name of the city in this movie. It's not Atlantis. It's Talocan.
There you go. Your first try was like
Thank
a little.
you.
It was kind of close.
I know. I really didn't remember. Yeah.
Talios the first one.
I was like Talalos or something. So just whatever. Talocan.
You got it right.
And best believe I'm definitely getting a Namor sweatshirt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, as far there's one piece of Warner Brothers news from where you were gone, but I think you have something that you wanted to. Okay, before we go into Warner Brothers, someone sent me a message on Twitter, and they were like, they actually like when we talk about Warner Brothers because they think we do it in a very fair way. We're not trying to bash the studio. Like, we want to see them succeed. They've just been making questionable decisions, for a very long time. And what's interesting about the Warner, I feel like this is like the Warner Brothers section of the podcast, because it'll cover some of the stuff that Jack wants to talk about in that regard. It also kind of covers as far as like this other news with what they're going to do with Constantine and bringing Keanu Reeves back to do that. I mean, that sounds cool, but
oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right.
And then and then of
forgot
course
about that.
And then of course in non superhero news, Warner Brothers also had to deal with the release of Don't Worry Darling this weekend, and that had its own share of it seemed like highs, but there were some lows. So yeah, Warner Brothers is at this point I think they're just they're hoping that the pure marketing muscle of Dwayne Johnson can save them with Black Adam.
A hero to save us.
Yeah, I think that's what
and
they
he's
need.
really big and bald.
They really need.
Yeah, I know.
That's
He's
what they need. That's what they need right now. So we'll start with what Jack. What's going on with Warner Brothers currently?
Yeah, I haven't read the full article. I actually have just read a couple Instagram posts, but literally they came back to back to back to back on my feed. And when that happens, you know that everyone's finally reading it. And apparently, not HBO, Discovery Warner, basically pumped up their numbers for HBO Max subscribers and lied. Basically, case I haven't read more than you. Maybe you read more. And they're naming David Zaslav the new CEO as a defendant in said case, but I don't know who is suing. All I read was that they bumped the numbers up 10 million.
That's ridiculous. How
so
we not know that?
For one, I don't care.
Ah, here we go. I got it. Hold on. It says Warner Brothers cooked. According to the rap, Warner Brothers cooked.
Oh wait, fuck the rap.
Well, that's the first one I came up. You want me to read another one?
Yeah. No, it's fine. If there's multiple, it's fine.
Yeah, there's multiple. Okay. So, all right. Warner Brothers cooked HBO Max subscriber numbers, misled shareholders in Discovery merger. So claims this lawsuit. It says that Warner Brothers cooked its HBO Max subscriber numbers by as many as 10 million and misled shareholders in other ways that violate the Securities Act to complete its merger with Discovery, according to a class action lawsuit that claims it could potentially represent hundreds of thousands of plaintiffs. So there's going to be a lot of people involved. The lawsuit was actually filed last Friday in New York on behalf of the Collinsville Police Pension Board, an Illinois-based shareholder of Warner Brothers Discovery stock, which it accepted in trade for its pre-merger Class C common Discovery shares. At the time of the merger, Discovery shares were valued at $24.78. As of Tuesday, the shares were trading just above $11. The lawsuit names Warner Brothers, Discovery, CEO David Zaslav, and CFO Gunnar Weidenfeld as defendants. And Warner Brothers did not immediately respond to requests for comment. That's crazy. God, even where this more gets worse. The lawsuit says that among several other adverse information being kept hidden, the merging companies overstated the subscriber base for HBO Max specifically. It says Warner Media was concentrating its investments in streaming and ignoring its other business lines, and overstated the number of subscribers to HBO Max by as many as 10 million subscribers, by including as subscribers AT&T customers who had received bundled access to HBO Max but had not signed on to the service. So that is why that lawsuit is in place.
Okay, one. I think if I'm reading this correctly, I'm not reading, I'm listening to you, but figure of speech. It sounds like it's a fucking PBA association, Police Benevolence Association, that gets residual dividends from the stocks.
Right.
That's bitching right now, and it was only filed last week. Hey, people, we're in a fucking recession. Nothing's doing well. Are you serious? To blame that on this, like they're being 28 now, they're $11. Everything's in the toilet. That's one. Two, no alluding to the point where they focus on other businesses, focus on HBO other than other businesses. No fucking shit again. Guess what we just got out of for the past like 3 years, where the only thing people could do was watch movies in their own home. Streaming. So excuse me while we're not focusing on major motion pictures, or I don't even know what Warner Brothers makes TV, music. Guess what? Their music artists still did their stuff. They still were able to record music. They couldn't, you know why they couldn't make a lot of more money? Because they couldn't go on tour. So there's your share price there for Warner Music. Obviously, the movies.
Yeah.
Couldn't make, the big box office, hundreds of millions of dollars. You just started HBO Max, which means you started a fucking whole new program, which means you have to hire new people, which means you're spending more money that you don't have yet, but you will make back.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I just have to comment, how is this organization in Illinois getting the correct streaming numbers, subscribers than anyone else?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Actually, and then my last one is Zaslav didn't make HBO Max. It was Walter Hamada and that crew, the one before that made HBO Max. He was the CEO of Discovery Channel. So I just don't, it's America. People are just gonna sue people.
Yeah. It sounds like the gist of it is like they believe that to the detriment of rest of Warner Media, that they were trying to boost up the HBO Max base a bit and misled people. I mean, but I agree. I mean, this seems like another thorn in their side. But I agree with you. Like, it's like a lot has changed. Even if it is wrong if they're fudging the numbers, right? If they're bundling like the AT&T subscribers who got HBO Max in the bundle, but didn't really sign up for HBO Max individually. I mean, I get like being felt like you're being misled by the numbers, but it just seems like this is crazy that they want to call like so many plaintiffs to they're so hundreds of thousands of people can be involved in this at any given time if they push it further. They also say AT&T was over-investing in Warner Media entertainment content for streaming without sufficient concern for return on investments. Warner Media had a business model to grow the number of subscribers to its streaming service without regard to cost or profitability. And then the plaintiff, which is a pension fund to benefit current and former police officers in Collinsville, Illinois, suggests that anyone who purchased Warner Brothers Discovery on the open market post-merger is qualified to join the lawsuit. So they're encouraging other people to join the lawsuit on top of the other people that they already have.
No, this is post merger.
Post merger, yeah.
So but that's the thing. Post merger, they're trying to get the people who are like just getting it because of some movies that are coming out, but they're not the people. Post merger people, post merger executives are not the fucking people blaming. So I have to imagine that David Zaslav is just a defendant because he's going to speak his case on like, this is what we fucking had to deal with, man. This is what Hamada and all these fucking idiots did. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell am I supposed to do when I can't, I couldn't find the correct streaming numbers, something like that. So,
that's ridiculous. just like I've never, I thought for a long time when we started doing this podcast and stuff, because we used to bitch about Sony, but their issues are more creative than business. And like, I wonder if I rather have like creative issues over like, because Warner Brothers has both. Warner Brothers has creative and business issues, and a lot of it has to do with like you said, the merger and like what they kind of like what the Hamada regime was doing and what they want to do currently. It's like when you have like a president and then like a new president comes in and they have to like kind of clean up whatever mess was left by the previous person if there was one.
And then everything kind of says that the new regime is the one that fucked it all up.
Yeah,
does that sound familiar?
They're like, I've inherited a mess. So like, what do you want me to do? I'm trying to clean it up.
I've inherited a mess that was disguised as a great success.
Yep.
So, idiots.
Yeah,
everyone's an idiot.
But another Warner Brothers news though. I didn't know this was like a cult favorite movie. I remember when it came out and it made like a little bit of money, and I thought it kind of like died after that. And I didn't think people really loved it that much, but I guess it's kind of grown in popularity since it came out in 2005. But Keanu Reeves was in Constantine back in 2005, directed by Francis Lawrence. It was his directorial debut. Warner Brothers announced a week or so ago that they are going to make another installment with Keanu Reeves and with Francis Lawrence returning to direct. There wasn't like a ton of other information beyond that, other than Reeves will reprise his role as supernatural exorcist and demonologist John Constantine, who in the original is dying but stays around to save his soul by keeping demons from hell from breaching Earth. The first movie, by today's standards, only made $200 million worldwide. But it is I guess it's kind of a cult hit, and they liked his take on the character. There's also been other popular takes on the character on the CW, on Legends of Tomorrow. And
it's just like one guy actually who plays John Constantine for the past like 15 years, isn't it?
Well,
it's the guy we see on CW. He voices all the names, all the characters in cartoons.
Yeah, so there was a Constantine show on NBC that got canceled after one season, but they really liked the guy and brought him onto Legends of Tomorrow, which is like kind of a little bit unheard of because NBC is a totally different network than the CW, but they were able to bring him on as Constantine, and he's a fan favorite as well. I didn't know people were like really fanboys for the Keanu Reeves one though. I don't remember much from it because I haven't seen it since it came out. I know Shia LaBeouf's in it with him. That's one of the only things I remember. But yeah, like when this story broke, it became like a pretty big one. But I think it's because Keanu Reeves he's still going through a very big renaissance where he whatever he touches, everyone seems to love. I don't care either way, if he does it or not. But fans were happy that he's coming back, and yeah, there's that. So that was positive casting news for them, and movie news and sequel news. We're getting it very late though. The first movie came out in 2005, and I imagine that we're still a couple years out before they actually make the sequel, or that it comes out. So it's a pretty lengthy gap between projects.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's just weird that like, why wouldn't you put just Keanu Reeves in the DCEU? Why would you make a sequel to, as we both say, a relatively movie
made in 2005 when we could easily have a hot off the cuff Keanu Reeves, you know,
Yeah.
now as Constantine being like, but again, there's just so much fucking nonsense going on with the DCU that I don't even know what to do personally anymore with that nonsense. But it's a nice notion. Like again, like, I don't think the movie was that good anyways. Like the first one that he did wasn't even that good. I mean,
Yeah, I haven't seen it since it came out. I would have to watch it again. Like I haven't.
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
I remember I saw it in.
by
I remember seeing it in theaters, and that was like, it felt fine in the moment. That's all I really remember. It was fine in the moment, but it wasn't like something that stayed with me after it was over.
Yeah, exactly. Like it wasn't a good movie, but it wasn't a bad movie. You know, it's just you're just like whatever. It was there. You know.
Yeah.
It's also definitely one of those characters that superly actually deserves good CGI.
Yeah.
You know, like Superman. Yes, we all can like say like Christopher Reeves movies are great and they're awesome in theory, but like it's just really hard to watch like him literally like jump like from off a ladder off screen like and land on it,
Yeah.
you know, type thing. So it's the same thing with John Constantine, like the demons and all that stuff. And like, you know, him with the powers and like how he can, you know, manifest stuff with his hands, kind of like Dr. Fate does now in Black Adam. But
Yeah.
I need that a little bit to for it to be probably a better Constantine movie, which would probably get honestly too. So
By the way, speaking of Superman, when the Wolverine like Hugh Jackman news dropped today, someone on Twitter was like, "Yo, this would be a good time if that Henry Cavill Superman Black Adam stuff is true. It'd be a good time for the DC, for people at DC to just drop that news right now and
yeah, no, that would be
to take over, to take over.
Oh my god,
You know,
it's so big
because we still can't tell if like there's so many people that think that he filmed something for Black Adam, but I don't want to get anyone's hope. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up because they've lied so many times.
What do you hear, Mr. Insider? Huh?
Well, no, I keep hearing that it's a possibility, but then I also heard it's a possibility that he was going to show up at San Diego Comic-Con and he didn't. And so like I don't know.
Well, was it the same people telling you he's going to show up at Comic-Con? Was it the same people that are telling you that he's going to be filming, or is it two different people here? Again?
So the Comic-Con the Comic-Con stuff got like, it spread to like all the trades. It was the Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety. They all ran it. This one is more like the comic book level websites, which are very popular, but they don't necessarily always have like all the right information. But they seem to firmly believe that like, I think they want to believe that Dwayne Johnson would steer them in the wrong direction, because like he could easily be like, he's heard these murmurs himself, like, hey, like I think Henry filmed something for your movie, and I would think that he would, if it wasn't true, he would kind of try to squash it, just being like a good, you know, marketing genius as he is with his own stuff. But yeah, I really don't know. I mean, I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw it, but I just don't. I also don't want everyone to get their hopes up that it's going to happen, because that happens all the time, and then they get all mad at the studio and like the actors and everyone involved. Like it's their fault that their hopes got so high for something like that. Usually, it's just like, you know, the fans that kind of they get over eager.
No, you definitely get over eager, but you can't say you're going to change the hierarchy of
yeah, you can't say stuff like that. Yeah,
you can't say shit like that and then not try to give me Superman, or at least show me, at least in the business room, you're still that dude who can get it done for us. Because, like, buddy, still don't got Superman. You keep talking this big game about doing something. And all so far you've given me Pierce Brosnan, which very happy for.
Hey, wait.
No. Hey, he's fucking dope. And if he doesn't get like his own like
Dr. Fate show down the line, I think that is just a huge misstep on HBO's part.
And also, Dwayne Johnson, he announced, what is this? Was this 2 hours ago? The Black Adam Global Tour. So this is where like they're going to be premiering, like taking the movie. It begins October 3rd in Mexico City, and then October 12th in New York City, October 13th in Toronto, October 13th in Atlanta, also October 13th in Miami, and then October 18th in London, and then he'll be in Madrid on the 19th, and then on the 20th it will be in Los Angeles, which is like I think a day before the movie opens nationwide. In his post when he announced the global tour, he said that this has been my 10-year plus passion project, and there's no better way to release it to the world than by touring the world to connect with all of you again, every city, every country, all of you. It's going to be electrifying. Thank you all so much for the early excitement and hype. I just hope he can live up to whatever he's putting down. Right here.
I hope he can. I hope he lives after traveling through I don't know, what was it, 7 time zones?
Yeah, within like, and some of these are like the same day. Like he's just gonna be jet setting. If anyone could do it, it's him. I mean, I just like I said, like he's hyped this up so much that it has to be good. Like if it's bad, it's gonna be a big, not a big. I won't say it hurts his brand, but like it just has to be good. He's kind of revved up all the fans a lot when it comes to like what he's tried to do with this project and how long he's been involved with it. I hope for, and I'm saying this as someone who I know very little about Black Adam. I'm just seeing this as like, seeing what the DCU, what they're going to do next. But he's speaking as someone who this is a passion project. He respects the character. He respects fans of the character. So I hope for his sake that he lives up to whatever he's trying to promise all you guys. I mean, I think it would be more of a you thing than a me thing as far as how this turns out.
Yeah. So first off, before you finish, are we getting screenings? We're gonna get an early screening from
from Warner Brothers.
From your personal friend The Rock, who only wants you at his screenings. I can't believe that he does not give you screening tickets to this 20th event.
Well, it would be October 20th. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm in there like swimwear as your +1, bitch. Let's go.
What day is October 20th? It's a Thursday.
Wednesday.
It's a one day.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the one day. Yeah, the day before it opens. So, yeah. Either way, I always forget about that like little nugget of The Rock wanted me personally to be at his trailer launch. It was a fun little humble brag for like a little bit when it happened.
I mean, it's kind of just you should be able to do that at all times. So everyone who's not listening and doesn't know the context of that brag is that The Rock, when he came to Los Angeles to show off the first trailer of Black Adam, your boy Gaius Bolin was requested by the Wolverine man himself to attend and be the guy for his representative. So yes, we are seeing that shit early. I'm getting a t-shirt. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but we're doing something. It's gonna be awesome. So
I'll bring my action figure that he gave us.
Yes, I want that. on top of that, he does have a lot to live up to. This is a really important movie in the sense that we need to get trending in the right way. There needs to be some positivity. I have to imagine that Warner Brothers is like a clubhouse now for like a sports team. Like we just need something positive to go on,
Yeah.
Just everyone's getting hurt. Someone just got caught cheating on their wife with another player's wife. Like we can't do anything right now. Can we please just have one perfect game? Like just one thing doesn't fuck up. So I'm hoping it's kind of like that. And I really, and this is obviously The Rock just being The Rock, or just that gravitas that The Rock has about him when it comes to promoting movies. But I really just want people to focus on Black Adam, focus on this movie, and not like, oh, he,
now that Dwayne Johnson has made Black Adam, he's pitching to Warner Brothers a Black Adam versus Suicide Squad versus Justice League movie. It's like, dude, chill the fuck out. All right. Like, we need to like fix those movies. And as much as I want to say, like, you're a really fantastic actor, Black Adam, the character, is not like the draw that's gonna save the DCEU. And you're just doing that to boast of yourself. So
Well,
all
like
I'll say with that is just
Yeah.
like, let's focus on this movie. Like, chill the fuck out, Mr. Johnson.
like the character isn't like big enough for like casual people, right? Like it's not like he's not like a Superman or Batman or like for DC. Like I didn't know much about it. I didn't know much about him. Like
He is absolutely. It's just one of those things where it's unfortunately it's the Captain Marvel Shazam
that kind of
that
version of
that shit. No, it's not that version. It's just that issue where it's like some people like, wait, what's Black Adam is Shazam because he says Shazam, but he's Black Adam because he wears black, and we know him because he actually is, the only person who can beat Superman besides like Doomsday because of magic. But in the end, Shazam always comes in to help to beat them, so they always team up. So that could be a fucking sick ass movie too. Like if you just want to do that, like do that next. Like don't give me all this stuff. But with that being said, it's gonna be cool to see what like Amanda Waller, because apparently Amanda Waller like kept him like locked away for a long time.
Yeah.
So I want to know how that happened too, because that's just like crazy to me. That like all of a sudden Amanda Waller is the person who had control
over him.
Black Adam. Like what the fuck? Like it's not some like Middle Eastern or Egyptian or African country, like where he's from has him. We have him for some reason. So interesting. Excited for it. Like it's gonna be sweet. Like it can't not be sweet.
Well, he'll have a lot of pull based on how much the movie makes. I mean, if it makes a lot of money, then he might have a lot of say in those meetings about like what direction things are going in, which seems kind of ridiculous, right? That like, but if he can make a hit for them, and not just like a financial hit, but like maybe like if I'm being realistic, if this was like, I kind of see this movie landing at like 65%, 70% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, like still fresh, but like on the low end of fresh. I don't see it like really wowing critics unless and I will gladly say I'm wrong if like once the early screenings start that like if there's something good here, then like I'll change my mind. But he has a lot to kind of like, he has to overcome critical reviews. He has to overcome like, it'll be interesting to see when this movie enters box office tracking, because I think that's in like 2 weeks. The budget is like apparently $185 million, which someone said it's on the small end of movies like this, but that's still pretty big. But also working in his favor is that Dwayne Johnson is a global box office figure, so it doesn't just matter how much the movie makes here; it matters how much it makes worldwide. But yeah, I'm rooting for him. I mean, I hope it for the sake of like they need a win. I hope they get one. It would be nice for them to get a win with this.
We really fucking need a win, guys. Here, it's really, really, really difficult.
Couple times for us DC comic book guys.
Definitely. But yeah, we'll find out. Like, what's cool is that this is actually we got through this whole like slow period of like mid-August through this point in September, and we're almost to better, bigger movies opening starting in October. And that's probably the biggest. Halloween Ends opens a week before that. That's big for me, not everyone else. Actually, for Halloween fans, it is. The final trailer came out today, and people were stoked on that. But like, I would full on admit that Black Adam is like the next big tentpole release that we have at the box office. But I will say this: it was cool to see like, because we haven't really talked about box like the Woman King opened to like $19 million. Everyone thought it was going to open less than that. That was all based on like great reviews and just Viola Davis promoting the hell out of it. That horror movie Barbarian I saw has done really well on like a smaller scale. Like it's gotten really good word of mouth. And even last weekend's Don't Worry Darling opened decently. I saw it on Thursday with my brother. I liked it. Um it's not for everyone. There were a lot of girls in my theater, clearly there for Harry Styles, and I've actually heard this from. There was a fan event at IMAX screening in New York, and it was all Harry Styles fans. Um, the movie opened to like 19.4 million over the weekend, and 71% of the audience was female, and they all fell in the demographic that loves Harry Styles. So like on that on that point, it's a win for Olivia Wilde that like Shia LaBeouf left or got fired and got replaced with Harry Styles. It's a win, you know, for her, at least opening weekend. But the movie was extremely like front loaded. Like its Friday was pretty good. It fell off pretty sharp on Saturday and the rest of the weekend. So I imagine it's gonna fall apart pretty quickly in weekend two. Um, it's just it's hard to sell a movie like that. I think I don't know if you saw the trailer for it or like if you could even tell what it's about.
I saw it all. Yeah, I know what it's about. It's about
But it's
this dystopian experimental, neighborhood. Shit goes
Yeah.
wrong, obviously the main character woman, the main female character, halfway through the movie, like figures out something's amiss. Everyone
Yeah.
calls her crazy. And then in the end, it's I haven't seen the movie, people. I'm just guaranteeing I know this movie at the back of my hand. There's one old lady who's been living in the town forever, who's like the conspiracy theorist person.
Right, not quite.
Then
Not
there's
quite.
like an old there's always, with de facto, there's always an OG person who's just like very nice, but turns out to be actually one of like the CEOs of the freaking company that are like trying to perverse this thing. I'm just saying, I know this movie. All I would want to see really is Florence Pugh. Sorry about it.
You almost had it. Like you almost had like there's so the whole like
It's a classic
mid-
trope
mid-
movie.
the
Yeah.
whole like midway through I realizing something's amiss.
Yeah.
That definitely is
Oh,
there.
shit, yeah.
And then like and I think that's why the movie has a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think that's why a lot of critics didn't love it because I think Olivia Wilde, she didn't write it, so I don't want to blame that on her. What I will say about her direction is she directs the hell out of the movie. Like it kind of shows that like she has bigger skill because like this is a way different movie from what she did with Booksmart, and I thought she had some really good visual cues, some really good really good edits and cuts, and like the sound design was really great. Like she really directed the fuck out of it. The issue was with the writing, and like you said, even though I liked it and I was entertained by it, if you've seen a movie like this before or have heard about a movie like this before, you kind of know where it's going. I guess the only thing that it could surprise you with is like how the twist comes about. But I think the main problem that the movie has is that on the plus side, you're attracting fans of Harry Styles and it's going to make money. On the other hand, those same fans can give zero fucks about like a borderline sci-fi movie about a utopian society that may or may not be what it seems. Like that's not the kind of movie they're going to see. They're hoping that they're going to see more of Harry Styles' sex scene with Florence Pugh, and they don't really get a lot of that. For as sexual as Olivia Wilde said the movie is, it really isn't. There's like 2 scenes, and it's not that big a deal.
Oh
And-
wait. So
no. Before you asked about Florence Pugh.
no. I'm gonna comment on it, being like, so you're telling me that all of the bullshit that Florence Pugh put herself and her castmates in.
Whoa! I mean, like we don't know if it's just that, right?
Let me finish the damn statement. And when she's like, I'm not talking about these sex scenes. It's like, I'm not. Okay, so like, okay, we're not, like, those ruined the interviews. It was the only thing people talked about. It then over hypersexualized the movie itself because she wouldn't talk about it. And now you're telling me that they were actually pretty subdued and didn't really matter.
They're there. They're not like insanely graphic. They're not like really graphic. I think so. Like in the context of the movie, the way that the sex and all that comes about is because where the movie takes place, the time period, um it's like one of those things like the husband comes home, the wife's already prepared dinner, and like he doesn't even give her a chance to like make his play before he wants to go down on her. It's like, is that how they kind of present women in the movie as far as like the sex is concerned? And there's another scene where she's about to have sex with Harry Styles, and Chris Pine, whose character is like a cultish kind of like Svengali kind of character. He walks in on them while they're doing it. And he watches it, and she's watching him, watching her, and doesn't understand like why he's like, she doesn't quite get why he's still there, but she continues to do it. Like it makes more sense when like they reveal stuff later in the movie. But as far as it, I don't think she cared about how graphic they were. I think she cared about like, why do we have to talk about it when it's not like the most important part of the movie? And that's not
I
the
don't
also.
care. I don't care. I don't care what her reasoning is, though. Like, I don't care for why she said it. If she wants to say it, fine. But her saying it entirely had put a bad taste in everyone's mouth for the movie. That's all I'm saying. Like,
well, is it? I mean, it's not just that. It's like it's the whole press tour has been weird. Like there was like the Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine, like he didn't, but like that became like a big thing. Then it's like, are Olivia Wilde and Florence Pugh even getting along? They don't even like talk to each other during any of the press, and they haven't exchanged words at all through this whole press tour. And then there's all these rumors that they had a shouting match on set, like, and then she said, "I'm not going to promote the movie because uh, whatever happened on set." And but I will say that there was an open letter written by 40 crew members that worked on that movie, who said that in their experience by working on it, that it was completely harmonious and there wasn't any yelling on set, and that Olivia Wilde ran a very good set. I think a lot of this stuff, whatever drama, happened after the movie wrapped, and I think that had a lot to do with the Shia stuff, what came out from that, and then how maybe Olivia Wilde talked about Florence Pugh after that, and then she was like, "Yeah, I don't want to discuss the movie anymore." But yeah, to your point, it's not. She's great in it, though. I know you said you wanted to, if anything, you would watch it for her.
she's fantastic. I love her.
She carries the movie on her back. Like she is very much the star, and also shout out to Chris Pine, who is, I don't think I've ever seen him be creepy in anything. He's very good in this. And what I'll say about Harry Styles is that I kind of put this on Twitter and Instagram. I thought he was fine. There's potential there. He's a little rough around the edges, but I did think that he was really good in like his intense scenes with like Florence Pugh. I think she kind of brought the best out of him. But yeah, it's gonna be forgotten next week. I mean, it's just so crazy. There's all this like pre-release drama surrounding it, and I think that did kind of help, along with Harry Styles, helped people want to go because they were curious to see what it was all about. But now that that's over, I think everyone involved can like focus on whatever their next project is. I kind of wonder what Olivia Wilde does next. I had to be very careful talking about this because I said, because of how this, in another space, I said how this was handled, because I heard that Warner Brothers wasn't happy with how she handled all the drama and all that stuff. Would that affect her, getting another directing gig? And I was immediately attacked by a bunch of women who were like, well, would you say that if she were a man? I wasn't trying to like imply that this is only happening because she's a woman. I'm just saying that like, even if it was a dude, I would be like, hey, like, how you handle this situation, like this is only your second movie, like what's going to come for you next? Like what are you going to be able to be in charge of? So no, I wasn't trying to attack her as a woman. I don't care about that at all. Like I was just saying that, like, my personal opinion, she handled some of this stuff very poorly, and that's how she handled the Shia stuff, how she handled a lot of the drama that came out of it. If she's like the film's fearless leader, I think she could have handled these things a lot better. And that's just my opinion on that. But yeah, I like how you really pegged the movie. I mean, there was no old lady. That part wasn't in it. Not that I can remember. No, there wasn't. But you definitely got the whole like, oh, this is not my beautiful life with what's going on, and this isn't real, that kind of thing.
Classic.
But well done. But yeah, I think that about covers it. I saw There's a lot of stuff coming out. Like I saw Smile early on Monday. I actually think that's going to open at #1 this weekend. It's another horror movie, so Jack will not see it. Um,
Hey,
but it was
come
but
on.
it was very well done, and it was actually pretty scary. I jumped a few times. I'm supposed to see Bros on Thursday, which is the Billy Eichner wrote romantic comedy. It's like the first, I guess, first like gay romantic comedy released by a major studio, where all the main characters are either gay or lesbian or transgendered as well, and even in the straight roles, which is like a pretty unique thing for Universal Pictures to do. That movie's tracking pretty high and it has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm curious to see if it kind of lives up to all the pre-release hype. And then after that we're in October, and we get Halloween, and then we get Black Adam, and then we're kind of in a groove of like very good, fun, big movies, and a lot of like prestige movies that are kind of shape Oscar season on the back end of this year. But yeah, anything else you want to throw out there, Jack, before we?
Yes. Have you found, and this might be the only time I might use this terminology when watching a show, but have you found the right time to start watching Dahmer?
I watched the first episode because that's why I was curious. I watched it actually last night.
Yeah, I did too. Fantastic.
I like it. So Ryan Murphy created this, and Ryan Murphy is really good. Like some people don't think he's good at this. I think he's really good at these like sensationalistic kind of like based on true story pieces. Like I loved like American Crime Story. He did like the People versus O.J. Simpson, and he did the assassination of Gianni Versace. He's good at those kind of like limited series. And dude, Evan Peters is like born to play that part.
Okay, don't say. Can you please don't say that?
Because I know it sounds bad, but like he's good.
No, it's not. It's not even that, dude. Like when we're out at the bars, Evan Peters is always the person I get called out for. It's like, you look like Evan Peters.
Oh, so you like Jeffrey
and
Dahmer.
you've been in the bars when it's happened too.
I have been there. Oh, it's so funny too, because someone put on like I think it was Twitter, and like it's pictures of Evan Peters like when he's like maybe 15 or 16, and he's all like happy and youthful as when he first becomes an actor. And someone wrote above it like before Ryan Murphy like picked up Evan Peters, because everything after that, the Ryan Murphy stuff, he's made him always dark and brooding, and but he's good at it. I mean, like he's really good at it.
He's fantastic. And it really worries for me. It's like, damn, I really could like play a really good actor.
Serial killer.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. It's like, damn, man, I really pull off a good serial killer. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna watch those two. Oh wait, no, hold on. We're jumping shows left and right because we have not talked about Lord of the Rings at all. But have you watched it at all, G?
I watched the first episode. I want to. Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, I'll catch up on it.
Yeah, well, I feel like I actually know that I can't pat my. Okay, all I'll say is that I was right, literally right off the bat from the fireball. So, did you see the fireball?
Yeah.
I was fucking right. I called it immediately. I would love to come back to this episode and talk about it more once you've caught up, because I won't ruin it for you. And if you're not watching this show, I would actually watch the Hobbit trilogy. If you're gonna watch any of the movies to get this, get the kind of like context of what they're talking about in Rings of Power, I would actually watch Hobbit, Two Armies, and like the last two Hobbit movies, not Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit adventure ones, the last two, and you'll actually understand what the fuck is going on with like all the side characters and the characters now. Because they bring them all in. So very cool. But I was fucking right. Really happy about that. It's gonna be it's gonna be sweet. And I think I personally think it's just a little bit better than House of Dragon.
Oh, God, I'm gonna take. I mean, if Playlist doesn't take that snippet, I'm gonna take it.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna drop it on some message boards.
Do it. I want all the smoke. All the smoke. J_Gonzalez_22. All the smoke. It's pacing better. It's just
okay. I was gonna you're tell us. Okay. It's pacing better.
Right. It's pacing better, dude. It's just like, and it's not fair because the time jumps in House of Dragon. Like I'm not invested in the characters. I mean, it's one episode in Game of Thrones shows will kill you off in a second, from what I've heard. But like I'm just not like. I just keep looking at the next time. It's like, how the fuck is Viserys still alive? Doesn't he? He's like what? This modern medicine in whatever times are going on. These dudes lost like 4 fingers because he keeps pricking himself on the Iron Throne. They did Rhaenyra dirty, and this is totally subjective. She's a great woman. I bet she's a great woman, great actress. But like, child Rhaenyra, and by that actress is 24 years old. Younger.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah,
is way hotter than old Rhaenyra, and I'm pretty sure they're about the same age, like 3 years apart in age,
right,
like actress wise. But Alicent got the fucking glow up in the 10-year span. Like she is super hot. Like holy shit. But other than that, it's like everyone else is the same. So very, very weird. And it's just like they keep adding more characters to it. And it's like, all right, let's get to it. Oh my God, here's Daemon. He's such a bad person. But like here he is, like just trying to like isolate himself, but everyone's dragging him back into it. So it's like this, and then I don't know. But I just think I think the ending will be better for Lord of Rings of Power than it will be like the crescendo. Like this is what I've been waiting for. Is like I can't even say it to you because you haven't seen it all the way up. And I don't want to spoil it for anyone. So I'm going to say this now. Start watching it, people, and Gaius, so that I can talk about it a little bit more. Because I don't want to ruin anything. Because it's pretty fucking fun. So stop watching Dahmer and put on the second one of Lord.
Stop watching Dahmer or True Crime TV or anything else that I watch when I should be watching like other homework assignments.
Correct.
for work.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I will hop on that. By the way, I should be watching Dahmer. It's like we're recording this. It's like 10:18 p.m. in LA, and I probably shouldn't be watching Dahmer at this time of night anyway, because that stuff usually freaks me out when it's this late.
Absolutely.
Even though I love scary shit, says the guy who loves all the scary shit, but like certain points of the night, it's not ideal. But yeah, so we'll have like I said, October's coming up. I'm gonna make Jack get familiar with some horror movie stuff. I might just like send a movie like at the end of the week, like hey, try to watch this. Or it might be a certain like horror movie trope, like look into this, like the whole final girl thing, or the whole like why do black people die first in these movies kind of thing. Or like it might be a lot to look into.
You don't want me to answer that question.
I don't know, it'd be fun. In the month of October. And I know this is because this has been on the calendar for like a long time, because I knew its 25th anniversary was in October. But there are a couple of other podcasters that are gonna hop on when we talk about I Know What You Did Last Summer for its 25th anniversary in October. That'll be like mid-October.
What anniversary?
I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's 25th anniversary.
Oh, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea what you just said there.
Sorry.
Got it. No, it's fine.
So you just have to get familiar with all the scary shit.
It's fine. Oh, damn it. Sweet.
But yeah, so yeah, that's what's kind of on deck, and of course, bigger movies are coming out, so we can actually discuss bigger things. And yeah, looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a fun last portion of the year between October and December. Before we go, I do want to say that they re-released Avatar over the weekend. It actually made a decent amount of money, so that makes me. So it made $10 million here, but it made $30 million worldwide. And this is a movie that came out like
people. It's on the internet. What the fuck?
But that makes me think that the sequel is probably going to do pretty good business if people are willing to see like the original when they can watch it at home. Like rather go to the movie theater and go check it out.
Oh no, absolutely. People are gonna fucking see this movie. It's gonna do very well for sure.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. But yeah, in the meantime, I have to sign this out. Jesus. All right. You
Breathe.
can
It's
listen.
okay.
Just you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods HQ, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast fix. We're I know in the near future, they had to put because we were having video issues and stuff, so the YouTube page was put on pause a bit. But we will be bringing that back up soon. And actually, there was talk about trying to tie it into G Reels a bit more, so it can kind of push the following a little bit, push the back.
I'm down with that. Do it.
So that's going to be coming up soon.
Just sign the contract, motherfuckers.
Right in the next month or two. And yeah, once again, thank you guys for listening. I think we actually got, unless it's like someone you know, I think we got a new review before.
It could. Is it from Momo? It could be from
No,
Momo.
it wasn't. I thought it was that one, but then I looked, and
Shout out Momo.
there's been one since. Hold on.
Oh, all right.
Hold on. Let me pull it up real quick because we're getting to your part of
The witching area, yeah.
your part of our little show here. Let's see what it says. Yeah, it was. Yeah, this is after Momo. It's on
Momo.
it's on September 9th. It says love the chemistry between the hosts, great topics, love the analysis on movie news, fun, 5 stars.
Nice. So
So
with that being said, people, be like this person and shout out to them. I don't know their name, but I will
let me
later.
it says it's I don't know, it wasn't their name. It just says GE is for frustrated. So it's a username. I don't know.
Okay,
Whoever
well,
you are.
shout out to GE is GE is frustrated for putting it on. And just like him, people, I'm back. We're back, and we're gonna be doing some good movies because we actually have movies coming out this season. Just want to give myself a quick happy birthday to me. Last
birthday.
week now, actually. No. Like, subscribe. That is the name of the game. We want the algorithm on our side. Leave a comment, 5 stars, 1 stars, please 5 stars. Actually, leave a comment. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. I've been getting a lot of reviews saying that we need to do more movies to deep dive in. I know a lot of my friends want to come on too and do a deep dive of their favorite movie. So if you got a favorite movie out there, people, we want to hear about it. Gaze has got all the movies in the world, but we want to hear what you got to hear about. All right. So get that rhythm on you, get that algorithm on your side, and then please tell a friend if they're not listening to the podcast. I hear it all the time. You got any new podcasts to listen to? Well, you got one here. We're funny. We talk fast, and we have a good time doing it. So with that being said, we appreciate you. We love you. Have a good weekend. Peace.